Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Maria and I make personal development content here on YouTube. And so in today's video, I really wanted to come on here and speak about the main positive or the main thing that I have found that has really been extremely beneficial to me in my personal development journey. And I would actually argue that this is probably the most rewarding um, element of me in this personal development, and it is simply the strength that I have to keep going. And I know this probably sounds so cliche, and it's just like, oh, yeah, of course, the strength that you have to keep going. But no, it really does makes such a difference when you put forth these efforts into developing yourself. I have literally found myself change so much. One of the things, like for example, that I used to really struggle with is like being afraid of my own emotions, right? So, this looked like in the past, like being terrified of losing someone that I felt like deserved to be in my life, or that I felt like I did not want to lose out of my life, quite frankly. And in that, I was just like, I was afraid of how I was going to handle that. And not even in like a way where it's like, I would do any harm to myself or to them, but more so of just like, how am I going to be able to emotionally move on, right? And it would just be like, so like, I was afraid of like the heartbreak that was going to come along with having to move on from a relationship. And so, with that being the case, it was so challenging. And I would just instead keep people in my life much longer because I was afraid of or did not want to have to go through that heartbreak, did not want to have to go through those emotions. And now I find that I am just like just the opposite. Like I'm like, okay, if this person isn't meant to be in my life, then they're just not meant to be in my life. And that has helped so much too with my fear of abandonment. As I have grown, as I have developed, as I have learned where all these things come from, which is obviously childhood, it has allowed me to understand myself better, right? I was able to now see this is not who I am. This is like a survival mechanism, or method, I should say, that I used in childhood. But I don't have to continue to use this anymore. Like, this is not my life anymore. This is not like who I have to be. I can grow. I did grow. And so that is like, I honestly just feel like that's just the honest truth about personal development and growth, is that you will find yourself in a place where it's like, wow, I'm actually able to handle these emotions. I'm actually able to emotionally regulate and not feel like I have to run away from my own pain. Another benefit that I found is just the strength in being able to be in the unknown, right? So I think a lot of times, like, we as humans, we always want to know what's going to happen, or we always want to be in control of what's going to happen. But guess what? The reality is, things are just not going to always pan out the way that we want them to. And it is okay for us to also go through those levels and those places of disappointment and not try to control things to avoid that disappointment. Because one thing that I realized is that when it comes to disappointment, you are able to learn from those situations to do better in the next situations. And it honestly leads me into my next area where I say that I've developed and grown so much in, is just me being able to trust myself more. So, um, I was a person that like I was like, oh, I have to be able to uh make the perfect decisions at all times, right? And that's like where perfectionism comes from. You're just like, oh, like I cannot fail because I don't know how I'm going to be able to handle my emotions, or I don't know how this is going to make me feel when I fail, and I don't know how to deal with this. And so it's like this deep, deep, deep fear of failure. And so instead of learning to trust yourself, you just start to depend on others that seem to know more than you. But what ultimately ends up happening with that is you either end up angry with the other person because they led you the wrong way, or you become really upset with yourself because you're just like, wow, I cannot make decisions for myself and I knew better. So if the decision or the thing ultimately comes out wrong, then you're upset with yourself because you're like, you know what? I knew I should have done X, Y, and Z, but I chose to listen to that other person, and then now here I am in this circumstance. And that's why I think it's so important too, to build that trust with yourself and be willing to build that trust with yourself, and understanding that failure is actually strength because you are learning from your mistakes. And I mean, I can go on and on and on about like just the different benefits that I found that comes from me being able to um personally develop. Like, but I believe that out of all of these things, the core and the ultimate thing that comes out of all of these is just the strength to be able to keep going. I feel like I'm actually able to depend on myself so much more. Like, I don't have to lean on others anymore to make me feel better. I don't have to lean on others anymore um, to talk to calm myself down. No, I'm actually able to speak to myself and calm myself down. I'm actually able to um, feel feel my feelings for once and not feel like these are terrible feelings and I gotta find something unhealthy to regulate these emotions immediately. But now I can just say, you know what? Let's go through the cycle. Let's go through the cycles of these emotions. If I need to cry it out, I'm gonna cry it out, right? And then I'm going to learn from that mistake, or I'm going to um, remove those people or that thing out of my life so that I don't continue to inflict myself with these unnecessary wounds. Either way, I'm still learning from it. And I feel like ultimately I'm able to trust myself so much more. Like, I truly believe in myself. I truly believe in who I am. I truly believe in my capabilities. I truly believe in myself. And I like don't even have to rely on anybody else. And that in itself feels so powerful because I know that I can depend on me at the end of the day. And I don't mean this in a way where it's like, "Oh, I'm fine, like, I don't need any family, I don't need any friends." No, I'm not saying it in that way, but what I am saying is that I'm able to depend on me. And in those times where I may feel like I may need somebody else to come and step in, they actually have space for me now because I don't constantly call on them or constantly lean on them. I don't feel like my world is collapsing in front of my eyes if someone doesn't answer the phone and talk me through everything. I'm now able to connect with myself, connect with my own body, and say, what do you need in this moment? And so, honestly, that's really all I wanted to come on here and talk about today. Like, just the liberating feeling and the freeing feeling that it is to just be able to have that strength and be strong enough to depend on yourself. And it all comes from personal development. It all comes from working on those different areas to be able to put everything together all at once and have this product right here of ultimately just feeling like I can take anything that comes my way and confidently at that. So that's really it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't already, be sure to check out my website as well. I have multiple blog posts on there as well as different videos and my most recent YouTube videos. I have some services on there as well if you would like to start your personal development journey. But anyways, thank you so much for watching again. Again, like I said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.